Today we're making lobster grilled cheese. So let's go, y'all. So of course you need some lobster. You're gonna need the bread of your choice. I am choosing this artisan white bread, but you can choose whatever your taste buds allow. For the cheese, we're using Gouda, provolone, and mozzarella. And then we're gonna add in a little bit of this Boursin cheese as well. It's the shallot and chive kind. Some diced garlic and some garlic butter. Now my grocery store sells it, so if you can make it yourself, go ahead and do so. I will have a recipe about that sooner or later, but if you can get it pre-made, go ahead and get that as well. So look at it one more time. This is what we're using. Let's go. So of course we have to cook our lobster, so we're gonna go ahead and just throw one tail in whole, and then I'm gonna put my second tail in whole. We're not going to cook it all the way through. What we're going to do is allow it to just cook in halfway through, and then we're going to saute it in the pan with the rest of our flavors. So let's go ahead and get that going for about 5 minutes. Now that our lobster has cooked halfway through, we're going to go ahead and just crack open the shells. I like to do it with scissors, but you can do it with whatever you see fit. But you're just going to take some scissors, and you're gonna go right through the back. You're just gonna crack it open like so. And you wanna pull out the lobster meat. It's okay if it breaks apart because we're breaking it apart anyways, because we're gonna put it in our sandwich, of course. So we're just gonna take off the outer shell. Make sure that we're not leaving any of the shell on, because of course it's not going to be cute biting into a hard piece of shell. So just take your time and just try to pull it out as best as possible. And there, I have all of the shell off. So let me go ahead and do the second one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slice it right down the middle. It kind of has a line already created for you, so that I'm creating, you know, 2 separate pieces. And then I am going to move some of this out of the way. And I'm just going to chop it up. You want big pieces, big enough for you to taste it, but small enough so that if you bite into it, it's not pulling the entire piece of lobster off. So I'm just doing big chunks, and 2 lobster tails make a good healthy portion. So you can also buy lobster meat that comes ready for like lobster rolls and things like this. So if you see that in a grocery store, feel free to get that as well. It's already cooked, it's easier, you don't have to boil it, you don't have to do anything. But I've already had some lobster tails, so I was like, why not make this recipe? So I created it, and we're almost done. Yeah, buddy. All right, so those 2 lobster tails gave us a pretty big portion. I might not use all of it in the sandwich, and if I don't, you know, I like to just eat it by itself. But we're gonna go ahead and head over to the stove because we need to saute it in some of that garlic butter. So I have my stove heated up to about medium-high heat. I'm going to just put one of my dollops of garlic butter into the pan. I'm going to let that melt just a little bit. And while that's melting, we're going to go ahead and just toss in some of that diced fresh garlic. And it is fresh, guys. It's not the one that comes in the jar that's in that oil. It's not that. My grocery store actually has it already cut up, fresh, everything. But if you don't have it, I will tell you to go ahead and cut it up yourself. I'm just trying to show you guys an easy recipe, and we don't want anything that difficult. So I'm going to put 1 more dollop in there because I want it to be nice and buttery. Making sure that our garlic is not burning. And since it's starting to melt, I'm going to go ahead and take some of my lobster, or all of my lobster, and just pour that right in the middle. Making sure it's getting coated with everything. I'm going to turn the heat down to low. And now at this point, I'm just going to add a little bit of Old Bay, because Old Bay goes in all recipes with seafood. There we go. And for presentation purposes, I'm going to add in a little bit of parsley. Like that. And we're going to stir this up because this is going to be our filling for our grilled cheese. We're pretty much done, because you don't want to overcook your lobster. It will become chewy, and that's no good. So just making sure everything is coated. Ooh, yummy. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and just transfer it back into our dish that we had it in, and we're going to start working on our toast. So I will be back. Our lobster's done cooking. We are about to start making our little butter for our toast. So here's the secret. We're going to use mayo, and we're going to use some butter spread. Now, it's always been an argument on which is better, mayo or butter. I like them both, so we're gonna use both. So we're just gonna squirt some mayo into our container. And now we're gonna go ahead and just take some butter, plop that into the container as well. And then for presentation purposes, stick with me. You wanna put a little bit of parsley in there as well. And then if we wasn't already making a lobster grilled cheese, then I will put minced garlic in here, because it makes your toast taste so good. But we already have enough garlic in this recipe, so we don't need it on our toast too. I need a little bit more parsley, because like I said, you're gonna see it when we present it to our audience, and you're gonna also see it like when we grill it. So that's the good part about it. So we have that. We're gonna go ahead and just transition that out, and I'm gonna bring my bread over for you to see. Let me zoom out for you. And now with that mixture that we just made, we're gonna go ahead and spread that on the outer parts of our sandwich, because like I said, we're grilling this on the stove. Now this is going to be the part that you're gonna see. The inside is on the other side. So I'm just gonna put a thin layer of it, because you do want it to get crispy. Just making sure we coat everything. Yes, this is gonna be so tasty. Just stick with me, guys. Just stick with me. I promise I will never ever give you a recipe that is trash. This is so good. All right. Just a little bit more. Now we are ready to head to the stove and start working on our cheeses. And we're almost done, ladies and gents. Let's go. We're going to go ahead and take the 2 pieces of toast that we buttered up, and we're going to go ahead and just place that down on the skillet. And next, what we're going to do is use that Boursin cheese that I showed you. Remember, it's the shallot and chive. We're going to go ahead and spread some of that on each side, because it's like a cream cheese, a flavored cream cheese. It's so good. But we're going to spread that because it's going to make it creamy as well. You want to work fast because you do not want to burn your toast. But you do not need a thick layer of this because you already have three other cheeses you're going to put in this as well. But I'm telling you guys, this is so good. And the next piece, just working as fast as you can. My heat is on medium high, but I'm about to switch it over to medium low as soon as I feel like it's kind of toasted on the other side, because I still want to give my cheese time to melt. So now that we have our Boursin cheese there, we're going to go ahead and add our chopped scallions. I did not show you that I chopped them on camera, but I did chop them behind the scenes. Just gonna add a little bit just so it can stay in place. Yeah, it's gonna be so good. And next I'm gonna go ahead and add some mozzarella cheese, just a little, because we're gonna add it in several places of this. That mozzarella is what's going to give you that cheese pull. Just FYI. Next, I'm going to go in with some Gouda. And I'm just placing that right in the middle. Placing it on each side. I want each side to have the same amount of flavors. Actually, I'm going to pull it down just a little bit, because we do have to put the other piece of cheese. So I also have my provolone. There we go. And at this point, we have our lobster. I'm going to go ahead and add that on top as well. I'm a pro in the kitchen, guys, so I'm using my hands. It is washed, but use a spoon if you're not a pro or you're afraid that you're gonna burn yourself. Please use a spoon. Just gonna add this. Ooh, yeah. And I'm adding a little bit more mozzarella. Like that. Now we're going to go ahead and just flip one side over so we can get the sandwich assembled. Ooh-wee. There we go. It should look something like this. I'm going to press it down because I want it to melt completely. I'm going to scrape away some of that extra cheese. And we're going to go ahead and just let this cook on both sides. I'm going to flip it over in a minute. And once it comes off the stove, you'll hear my voice again. There we have it. Our lobster grilled cheese. Yes. Y'all, please try out this recipe and tell me what you think. I hope you like it. I hope you comment down below. And I hope you'll subscribe. Thank you for watching.